Thank you all for having me. I'm Patrick Hamby on behalf of Entergy Louisiana. I'm going to begin with a few points on the damage assessment. It's been touched on many times, but absolutely true and worth repeating. I've taught many people on my ride to the parish from Jefferson Parish and the Orleans area, and in fact, without a doubt, this is the worst damage and the worst storm that anyone has seen in the history of this parish. It's evident here on River Road. We just finished clearing it, some downed poles and trees and other debris so that people can get around safely now. That's just the beginning. There's plenty more for us to do. It's going to pick up pace tomorrow. If you look at the storm and you think about the path that it hit, no doubt did Grand Isle take the brunt. They're sitting out there on the front line. But then it made that northwestern turn and came right into this parish, into St. Charles, and stalled out. And that is what I believe is attributable to the severe damage here. That is, it's worse. New Orleans and Jefferson, they took a strong hit. They have substantial damage, but as you go to the west, you see even more. So what we have today, and the governor hit on this, we have the first light of hope, the beginning with the powering of the New Orleans power station. That allows us to bring transmission to 9 Mile 6 over there in St. Charles at the 9 Mile marker. We're going to bring it down into the parish and then also connect from the north. So that was the first piece to the puzzle. Now we're connecting. Why did we start in that area? Because as I mentioned, with the path of the storm, the destruction, the damages, we have 3 corridors of transmission available here, 8 lines within those 3 corridors. The one with the least amount of damage, it was damaged, they were all damaged, but the one with the least was in that area, and we're working our way this direction. Also, per the Nuclear Regulatory Commission rules, ahead of a storm or a catastrophic event that's predictable, such as a hurricane, we have to power down the Waterford 3 nuclear unit ahead of the storm so that it can safely ride through the storm. Now, we did mention this and the governor hit on it as well. I'd like to highlight that again. The New Orleans power station is the beginning, and as we bring transmission into this region, it is going to be limited. And to focus on what we do with that power is the critical infrastructure, the hospitals, the nursing homes, working hand in hand with the parish and prioritizing routes for their critical infrastructure so that we can get people back on their feet as quick and safely as possible and back in their homes. See, what we're doing while we're waiting on the transmission work, there's a distribution system. So the transmission towers is the high voltage lines, the big metal structures you see, largely outside of the communities, but they come down into the substations and we go into the distribution systems. That's what feeds the small commercial businesses, the residential neighborhoods, all the wooden poles that you see down on the road. That's our distribution system. So we're picking those up, we're clearing those, we're going to begin setting poles, stringing new wires, hanging transformers so that we are working somewhat as best we can after we clear the damage in parallel with the work that we're doing on the transmission system to help speed up the restoration. What everyone, I'm sure, is wanting to hear and what I'm wanting to tell everybody is estimated restoration times. When will my lights be back on? That information is ongoing. It's contingent upon the damage assessment. We have to know what is damaged, where it's damaged, and which crews that we can assign to make sure that we get the qualified crews on the right jobs with the right equipment to do the safe, reliable restoration to keep not only our team safe, but the customers and our residents and our friends and our neighbors safe as well throughout this process. It's going to start out when we say estimated restoration time. So in the next day and then going forward, we're going to start releasing information on estimated restoration times. It'll start with a broader kind of geographic area, and then as time goes on and we've restored power and we've made more progress, we'll get down to neighborhoods, and then we'll be able to tell more information on specific locations after that point. I'd like to touch on safety and close with safety. It's first and last, the most important thing that we do with anything throughout this restoration process. Do not go to any down power lines. Don't try to judge if it's cable, if it's communications, or if it's an Entergy cable. And just because your lights are off in your home, in your community, that does not mean that that down power line could not potentially be energized. What I mean by that is people are putting in temporary generators There is a possibility that the installation was not done correctly, and there could be backfeed from that portable generation source that could go back on the line that's on the ground. Even though the lights are out and our system is not producing electricity, those portable generators do have the capability, if installed improperly, to put back on our system. So stay away from down power lines, call 1-800-ENERGY, we'll take care of that. And again, the last thing I'd like to ask is please stay off of the streets, stay home, stay with your friends, your family. I understand you have to go out and get some commodities from here and there, get some ice, some water, some MRE, some food, whatever rations or anything you need as far as to keep your family safe. But stay off the streets. It helps keep you safe. It gives us access with our large equipment to get in here and do our work quicker and faster and ultimately get your lights back on quicker. So thank you very much.